I want to acknowledge the brother from Calvary Baptist Church. Thank God for Calvary. It looks like God is forming a relationship between Mount Zion and Calvary. You ought to give God a praise for that. I think it's atrocious that the most segregated hour in the week is at church. 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, we can work together, we can play football together, but for some reason we find it difficult to worship together. I think it's atrocious. Thank God that God is moving in a different direction. Also, you know, I enjoy when people come to Mount Zion, but I'm going to tell you something. You know, I grew up in northeast Texas all my formative years, and one thing that my family always promoted was that no matter where you are, boy, you better acknowledge your folk. And I got folk in the house this morning that don't normally be here. Amen. And I'm telling you, I'm thankful. I am a family person. I'm telling you, when everybody else walk away, sometimes ain't nobody left but your family. Now, they'll talk about you, but they'll feed you. Hello, somebody. They'll talk about you, but they'll let you come in the house. And they'll talk about you, but they ain't going to step back and let nobody else talk about you. They ain't talk about you bad enough. My grandmama one time whooped me because I was fighting one of my first cousins. She said, kinfolk don't fight each other. When you get mad enough at your folks, you'll kill them if you try to fight. Amen. And she beat me. You hear me? She beat me. I ain't talking about no whooping. Mother beat me. And when she finished beating me, I told my mama, I said, that woman hate me. Don't want to go back down to her house no more. She ain't supposed to beat nobody. I said, Mama, she beat me like I was a dog. She beat me, but from that point on, I never fought a cousin. It was etched in my mind. As two of my first cousins held me across my grandmother's black leather chair while she beat me. Praise God for family. I'm telling you the truth. I do love family. I was, when God called me to Mount Zion, I told Mount Zion when they were interviewing me, the one reason I wanted to come back south and leave the north was because I wanted to be around family. And being in Little Rock, I was still, I forgot about the family up here. I knew they were here, but I didn't think about it. I said, Lord, I'm still 2.5, 3 hours from family. I talked to my cousin Galen. I said, you know, because I knew Galen was up here and all that. I was talking to Galen, and Galen said, boy, you got more folk up here. And he started introducing and reintroducing, and I'm telling you, there's something about family. Amen. You know, occasionally my family comes here. That's a part of Little Rock. Makes me feel like I'm back home. Matter of fact, when the brother was singing that song, I thought about one of them James relatives back down in East Texas, how they sang those songs. And I told Tony, I said, he even took me back to East Texas. There is a passage of scripture that you have in the bulletin that we read and we've done as responsive reading. And I'm just going to stick with that text. You ought to have it memorized anyway. It's a very common scripture. And I'm just going to deal with the text. I'm going to try to be short this morning. You know, I've been ill all week. I've been sick under the weather. And my voice is stronger now than it's been in 7 days, 6 days. So I don't want to tear it up again. And so I'm going to try not, y'all know I holler, and I'm going to try not to holler. Try not to talk loud. But bear with me. The scripture actually says, if my people who are called by my name. Y'all see that in the text? Yes. If they would humble themselves, pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. When I first got that text of scripture, I don't want to preach to that. I want to find my own preach from. And I talked to some preachers, and I said, when churches do them things, that's what I said, forgive me for my bad teaching and my bad grammar, but when they do those things, do you have to preach from? Oh All my buddies said, yes. Why wouldn't you preach from? I said, I want my own. I'm going to pick my own scripture. They said, it's been picked for you. You need to preach it. And so let's look at this. You know, I was thinking about, as I was preparing for this message, I was thinking about 1837. Everybody don't necessarily think about 1837, but I think about 1837 because one of my favorite heroes of the faith was born in Northfield, Massachusetts in 1837. He was born as the 6th or 7th child of his mom and dad. Matter of fact, just 4 short years later, his daddy, who was a farmer, would find himself dead. He would die while this young man was 4 years old. And because the family was so large, about 9 children, the mom could not support them. And so therefore she formed her children out, which meant that she sent them to nearby farms for them to live and work and make a living so they could eat it. So this young man was put with a family that fed him porridge, water, milk, and eggs 3 times a day. He told his mom, they're not feeding you. She brought him home, and when she found out they was giving him porridge, she sent him right back to that farm and said, I can't afford to feed you. You've got to stay where you are. His brother couldn't take being farmed out, and his brother ran away. And they didn't hear from his brother for the next 20, 25 years. Didn't hear a word from his brother because he couldn't take the idea that his mama formed him out. So this young man, he decided that he would even go to college. He couldn't find a job. He ended up going to Boston. He moved down and went to Boston and stayed with one of his uncles and he worked in his uncle's store, and he became a great man, and he was there, he grew up, he became an adult, able to take care of himself, and one day the founder of Sunday school saw him. Kimball invited him to come to his Sunday school class. Sunday school had not yet been established as a great thing throughout the colonies, throughout the United States. It was in its infancy, and they invited D.L. Moody to come to Sunday school. He showed up to Sunday school and got saved. And back in those days, you had to petition churches to see whether or not they would let you be a member. It wasn't under this just walking down and joining. You had to find out whether or not your doctrine was right. You had to answer questions. You had to be able to translate the New Testament in Greek before they would let you be a member. Mount Zion wouldn't have that many members, and not any other church in Little Rock. And so if you didn't know Greek, if you couldn't fill out this thing, if you couldn't stand the test of them questioning you about what you believe about baptism, what you believe about the Trinity, what do you believe about end time events, and give a right answer concerning the Scripture, they would reject your application for membership. D.L. Moody's application was rejected. He was saved, but they told him, you don't know enough about the Bible to be a member here. So he just kept going to Sunday school. Kimball kept teaching. And finally, one day he had enough Bible knowledge that when he did petition the church, the congregational church up there, that they accepted him based on scrutiny, that they scrutinized his belief system, scrutinized what he thought. They looked at his life and examined his life, and they came to the conclusion, yeah, we believe he might be saved. He joined the church and became a great man. Became a great man. God seemingly hand was on him in a localized way until he went to England. And somebody had spread to England that he was the greatest preacher on the face of the earth at that time. And his first service, 5,000 people. Now he left the New England area. He left Chicago with about 150 to 200 people listening to him. When he got to England, they had blown him up so much until 35,000 people showed up. I mean, you can talk somebody up so much that other folk would just believe what you say, right? But the truth about D.L. Moody would have never been a great man of God like he was if he had not gone through the trials that he had gone through. If his dad had died, he would have been the man that he grew up to be. If his mama hadn't formed him out and used him as labor to feed himself, he would have never grown up to be the man that he was. And when we look at 2 Chronicles chapter 7, we tend to look at that scripture in isolation. There's rarely a time where I see people talk about the entire chapter 7 in 2 Corinthians, 2 Chronicles, because we tend to focus just on verse 14. If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves. We look at that text of scripture in isolation, not necessarily taking it out of context, but it's almost as if there's just one verse in the whole chapter. That's the only verse we talk about. That's the only one we deal with usually. We look at that chapter and all we think about is verse 14. And I succumbed to it. I was studying for this passage and I kept looking at verse 14 in absentia. Verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I was looking at it in absentia from all the other verses in that chapter. Not only was I looking in absentia of all the other verses, but I was looking at that verse as if it didn't even exist inside of 2 Chronicles, the book. I was looking at it in isolation, and I realized something. That there must be the first point right here. I'm trying to be quick. Notice the word. The first thing I noticed was that I had been looking at that verse without taking into consideration the infrastructure of its context. Didn't pay any attention to the infrastructure of its context. I didn't pay attention to why it was in verse 14. And why was it surrounded by all the verses that was surrounded by his book, that was surrounded by in the Testament, that was surrounded by. I was looking at it in absentia of everything else, and I realized something. I need to understand his infrastructure. God didn't just speak verse 14 out of context. I didn't then answer where he placed it inside the context. And this is the context, first of all, of the person that's praying. Solomon had been praying to God. He had already, and this is the second time the scripture says that God actually showed up and talked to Solomon. And at this time, Solomon is praying. Solomon had already built the temple. He had just finished the completion of the temple of God. He had just finished the completion of the palace where he would live. And after the completion of all these building projects, God started speaking to him again. God started speaking to Solomon after he completed the building program. He started speaking to Solomon a second time. And when God opened his mouth to Solomon, he said, Solomon, if my people. And it was an arresting thing when I saw that. It was indeed arresting to see that Solomon was told by God, if my people. The infrastructure, Solomon was a great man of God, but let me help you with it. He had some issues, man of God. We're in a house this morning with quite a few men of God, scattered throughout the building. And I'm telling you, sometimes when we live our life in absentia, we tend to think the struggles that I have, other men don't have. You can't look at John Smith on Sunday morning and think you got a picture of it. That's looking and examining my life in absentia of everything else that's going on. You got to understand I'm a son. You got to understand that I'm a dad. You got to understand that I'm a product of the baby buster generation. You got to understand that my thinking processes is not like those who are the survivors, those who were born before 1936. I don't think like. And neither do I think like those who are in my children's generation. I don't try to act hip because I'm not hip. You try to examine me out of absentia, and I'm telling you, when you do that, not only do you do me a disservice, but you do yourself a disservice. We, as men tend to live their lives out in obscure hibernation. We can be hurting on the inside and we don't let nobody know. We've learned how to smile and how to play the game and talk the boy talk around folk while trying to convince them that we are who we want to be, not necessarily who we really are. Amen. Good morning, my son. men living our lives in absentia. The infrastructure of Solomon's life. Solomon's mama was his daddy's whore. I know that might be wrong, but I meant for it to be wrong. Solomon was the product of an illegitimate, illicit relationship. His older sibling, God just killed him. Because God said, I'm not going to bless your race. And it became the blight on the family that nobody talked about. Y'all know that sometimes me and you find that the family decides it's better left alone, not discuss that note. Even though everybody in town know about it, we don't want to talk about it because we don't want our kids to know about it either. I know a young man in Trinidad, Tobago. I shared the gospel with him. His name is the same as mine. You are a Facebook friend of mine. You can go and look at John Smith. John Smith, when I met him, he was an assassin. He killed people for a living. In Trinidad, Tobago, in order to have someone murdered or assassinated, it only cost $50. And when I met this young man, he was one of the best assassins in Trinidad. And I started sharing the gospel with him, and John Smith got saved. He's so bad he wants me to come to Trinidad and pastor because I've been mentoring him for the past 7-8 years. And John was talking to me. He was talking about how his dad was a Rolling Stone. And he told me he calls me John. He said, he calls me Texas because that's where I was living when he first met me. He said, Texas, you know, I was dating this woman and I proposed to her and I wanted to meet my mama and meet my dad. He said, when I walked into the house, my daddy said, you can't marry her. He said, he looked at his dad and said, why can't I marry her? He said, because that's your sister. See, sometimes men do things that we don't want to talk about. Sometimes men do things that we want to leave alone because we don't want our family to look bad. But I'm telling you, demons that you don't deal with will be demons that will pop up later in inopportune time. What I've learned as a pastor is I know I've pastored a lot of people in my lifetime. And I've learned that a lot of people try to keep their dirt hidden, try to keep their mistakes and their sins hidden up under some pillar, some bush, some stone somewhere. But what I've learned, whatever I tell, the devil can't get me on.
That's right. That's right.
If I did it. God's grace brought me out of it. Deal with it. In absentia, his life was in absentia. So Solomon was the product of an illicit affair that just messed up everything for the whole nation. People died because of this illicit affair. Yeah. And Solomon's daddy, David, y'all know David. David was the worshiper. He acted in times in all three roles: prophet, priest, and king. He was a type of Christ. He was somebody that everybody looked at. The Bible calls him a friend of God. He had God's heart. But at the same time he had God's heart, God had brought the Jews into the land of Canaan and told them to tear down the high places.
Right.
The high places were places that were mounds or hills where Canaanite religions worship other deities, other gods. They bow down and worship little statues that they have built with their own hands, carved with their own knives. And then after they carved them out of the tree, they bow down and say, you made me. God told them when they entered the land of Canaan, get rid of all the high places, tear them down, destroy the high places. But the folk in their minds, they couldn't imagine not having a high place.
Yes.
Before they entered, God said, don't worship at the high place. Don't worship at the high place. Don't worship at the high place. When they got in and they saw the Canaanites worship in a certain way.
Yes.
They said, oh, we could worship like that. Canaanite, I mentioned last week a little bit about Canaanite worship, how they believed that their deities rode into town on the backs of bulls. I just want to hang out there for 2 minutes. On the backs of bulls. And they thought that El, the Egyptian main Canaanite god, El, they said when they came to town, they sat on the back of a bull and rode into town. And so when the Jews thought God was missing, Moses had gone up into the mountaintop and they thought God was missing because Moses had been gone a long time. They said, we want God to show up, so therefore let us build a bull And if we build a bull, God will come riding through here and do what only God can do. God will ride the back of this golden bull. You say, I asked a friend of mine last night, I said, preacher, do you think God's people still are building bulls trying to get God to move? He said, Reverend, what are you talking about? I said, don't we do some things thinking that that's going to make God do something? I mean, if I sing this song, God don't show up. If we get this preacher to preach, God's going to move. If we have everything right, then God's going to show up. But the truth is, God don't ride on the backs of bulls. He doesn't ride on the backs of bulls. He doesn't come in on what men think he ought to ride in town on. He's not going to come through Mount Zion the way Mount Zion has prepared for him to come. When God shows up, he shows up in a way that nobody expected. I didn't know he was going to come from that way. I didn't know he was going to do that right there. We built this roadway for God to come in, but God didn't even go down this road. He made his own way. He said he made a pathway through the desert. So a lot of times we try to do things based on our own inclinations and our own understanding of what we think God wants. But the truth, what God wants is a contrite heart and a humble spirit. And if you don't have that, I don't care what your building looks like. I don't care how you talk, how you walk, how you dress. God doesn't ride in on the backs of bulls. I like that. He doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. He doesn't ride on the backs of bulls. So Solomon, the Bible actually says that God spoke to him and that God did some things for Solomon. And it says that Solomon followed all of the statutes of his father David, except in the cases of the high places. David told the boy, he said, learn from your dad. That's what men need to do. We need to teach our boys to learn from what I did wrong.
Yes, that's right.
One of my cousins, daddy died. And at the funeral, she found out she had 4 sisters. She didn't know. I went to my dad. I said, now, Daddy, and I sat down with him at his house. I said, I need to do something clear. You and Mama ain't got a whole lot. But what y'all got, I'm expecting to divide it between 3 people.
All right.
My oldest brother, Eddie, my middle brother, Reggie, and me being the baby, and I expect a double portion. I said, now, Daddy, if they ain't my brother and sister, why you living? You need to tell all of them if you have any. They can't be my brother and sister when you did. I said, Daddy, you got anybody else out there that I need to know my brother and sister? I said, because you was in the army, you was over yonder. My daddy talks kind of slow. He said, well, son, not that I know about. I said, we all right, man. We all right. See, Solomon, his daddy told him to walk with God, tell him to tear down the high places. The high places were places where people worshiped all these deities. And Solomon walked in everything except tearing down the high places. And let me tell you what this symbolizes. And I'm not trying to be too metaphorical, too spiritualizing the text. But the idea behind this is that you can dabble a little bit in the world while you still hold on to God. Let me tell you what I said. Solomon thought he could worship God because his tent of meeting had been located right next to the high place in Egypt. And people were worshiping the true God here, while other people were worshiping false gods here. And it kind of started just mixing because the two were so close. And what I found out over the years of pastoring, and I've been pastoring 30 years, guys. I've been pastoring a while. This ain't my first rodeo. And so what I learned about men, sometimes because men don't fully walk with God in a lot of instances because we want to be manly men. We don't want to be emotional. We don't want to be passionate about the God that we serve, that we dabble a little bit in Christianity and we dabble a little bit in the world and we want to call ourselves Christians. It's called syncretism, that I can mix God with other things and I'm still okay.
All right, all right.
God has never accepted worship on a mixed basis. Either you're all in,
That's right. That's right.
or you're all out. God is not a part-time lover.
All right.
Hello, somebody. Solomon wanted to worship at the high place and worship at the temple. He wanted to worship at the high place and in the tent. Men of God, God's calling you to really worship Him. Quit playing games.
Yes.
Either you in this thing for real, or you need to go back to the club.
All right.
Listen at the pastor. Ain't nothing wrong with the club. Some folk in the club. You hear me? Why you say, John, why would you open your mouth in a pulpit and say ain't nothing wrong with the club? I mean, if you're not born again, quit trying to fake and shake.
All right.
If you really ain't going to walk with God, quit pretending.
Amen.
Either you're all in or you're all out. So if your heart is still in the club, you shouldn't even got up this morning. You should have stayed out all night last night. And I know they may not sit well with you. My cousins used to say, it's tight, but it's right.
Yeah.
So you can't dabble at the high place and at the temple. Not at the high place and at the temple, trying to mix Christianity with other stuff.
Amen.
It's not the one or the other. And then you have also, in dealing with the issue of the high place, Solomon is now building a temple for God while he's worshiping at the high place. You know what that tells me? Some folks think like this. Some folks really believe that God's his slowness to judge somebody means that he condones what they're doing. Can I help somebody? I feel like that. Some folks think that because God has judged your behind on all that dirty stuff that you're doing, that you're okay with Him.
Yes, sir.
The truth is, God's justice might turn slow. It's still turning. You remember? Let me just help you out. I just want to tell something. You remember when Moses' sister and brother got mad at him because he kept talking about God said this to me, God said that to me, and they got mad and said, we don't want to hear you talking about God said that. If God wants to say something to us, He needs to speak to us. And they didn't know God was listening. God was a great eavesdropper. He was listening to what they said. God told Moses, he said, tell Miriam and tell Aaron, the high priest, tell them to show up at the tent of meeting. Because not only do I want to meet with you today, I want to meet with your siblings.
All right. All right.
God came down and rebuked them in the cloud, the Shekinah glory of God. And when the cloud lifted, Miriam had lepers. Moses started praying, God, save my sister. Don't let my sister die. God said, if I was her earthly daddy and I spit in her face, she'd have to get out of the camp for 7 days. And you can think that Aaron didn't get judged because the Bible don't say nothing about Aaron being judged. Miriam got judged. She got put out the camp of leprosy for 7 days. She was a visible reminder that you can't do what you want to do in God's house and talk about God's appointed people any kind of way you want to talk about it without God defending them.
That's right. That's right.
But it looked like Aaron got away with it. Until you come over to the end of his life, while Aaron is wearing all of the holy vestments, all of the holy garment, it looks like God's not dealing with him. But when he comes to the mountaintop, when God's about to call him home, God told Moses, strip him off of the holy garments. And when he stripped him of the holy garment, all of a sudden the wrath of God that had been swirling around his head since Miriam.
All right.
Since Miriam had been judged, all of the wrath of God that poured out on Miriam had just been circling his life, waiting till God got finished with it. as soon as God finished with him and the holy garments were taken off, God landed on him and killed him in an instant. Some folk in this house think you got away with so much that God done forgot. God has forgotten nothing. Oh, yeah, you saw him judge other folk. As a matter of fact, you'll talk about how God judged other folk. Y'all don't know saints like that, do you? When something bad happened to somebody, see, that was God getting me. Well, if God got them, what you think he's going to do to you? Because you've been dirty too.
All right.
God's just waiting till he finishes with you. I used to play, these Texas, we played ball, and spades. I could go everybody in the house and spades. I just play good. I grew up in old. Ron Davis is going to say, he's going to challenge me, he's going to get whooped out of skunk. I'm from the country, boy. I can play some. And anyway, so when I'm playing folks, especially in spades, when I'm playing my folks, I'm happy to be the one winning. I started, when I'm winning, real big. Anybody else see buzzers? Them buzzers swinging all over your head. You're about to lick. It's some folk in church. They got some buzzers swinging around their head. God's waiting till he finishes with you, till he finishes the assignment that he's given your life. And he's going to judge you. The reason why he hadn't judged you yet is because he's going to use you for some other folks as a demonstration. All right. Now, so he gets there, Solomon gets there, and he's doing the high places, and he's doing all this stuff, and he decides that he needs to build a temple, he needs to build a palace, and he does that. Now, let me move very quickly because I don't have that much time. So, when I look at 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14, there are a couple of things I want to show you. I want to show you the inconsistency of man. The inconsistency of man. When I look at that verse, and let me put it up on my phone here. When I looked at that verse, it was arresting to me. Because he says this, he said, humble yourself. Now in the scripture, and I don't want to challenge nobody, I just want you to go home and check it out. Every time the Bible talks about humbling yourself, I'm going to tell you how it talks about humbling yourself. The only way it talks about humbling yourself, listen, and I've had to deal with this because this is one weak area in my life because I love food. Every time it talks about humbling yourself in the Bible, it talks about fasting. And not from TV. Not from soda. I used to fast a lot. But then I started acquiring a taste for food. Good food. I ain't talking about run-of-the-mill food. Good food. And I fight fasting because I like so much how food tastes. And I realized this week that I'm not humble because I don't fast enough. Now I know that I know that's getting some folk wrong because this is folk in this house who ain't fast. And when somebody's never fasted, let me help you with this. And if you want to challenge me on it, please come talk to me. We can sit down and have a great Bible study. If you haven't fasted, let me tell you, let me serve notice, your flesh is out of whack.
Amen.
And this week the Lord showed me that the reason why my flesh is out of whack because I keep feeding it. If you want something to die, you know what you do? You starve it to death. You know, if you need something, God, push the plate back and say, God, I know how to do without this meal. Asking you to move on behalf of my family.
That's right.
Fasting. And Kevin developed that discipline you need to. But this is what he says in the text, very quickly in the text. It'll be like high points. Don't have a lot of time to deal with it. He said this. He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves. The word humble there is in perfect tense in the Hebrew text, which means literally if they keep on humbling themselves. Means that they never stop humbling themselves. And I ask myself the question, why in the world would God tell me I keep humbling? I need to keep humbling me. I need to keep humbling me. I need to keep humbling me. He gives the idea in this text that it never comes to a point where I'm not having to continually humble myself. Because he know me. He know my flesh out of the way. You know I got issues. I mean, you may think I don't have none. All you have to do is come stay at the Smith house for about, let me get a good number, about 7 minutes. My daughter said 2 minutes. She said, you'll find out real quick you don't have it all together. And I don't. And so God says I never stop humbling myself. This is what he says. He says, and seek my face. And that's in the imperfect. Which means there's never going to come a time where I don't have to continually seek God's face. We've gone past this era. I remember growing up how the saints used to pray. Y'all remember old time prayer meetings? How the saints used to pray, not for 2 minutes.
That's right.
I remember that.
They would pray. Those old sisters, old brothers would just fall on their knees and pray. I remember when I first started preaching, there was a deacon who was not a preacher at the time. He's a preacher moderator now. And named Willie Collins. He's a relative of mine. And Deacon Collins would get to praying, and we'd be back in the backyard. Pastors hang out in the back while Deacon doing their thing. And I would hear old preachers say, now, Deacon, you ain't got to tell him everything. And they said, that boy think he's preaching while he's on his knees. He needs to get up. And we would watch Billy Ray pray for 10, 15 minutes. And a lot of times the same prayer. We started praying the wrong way, and we knew what he was going to say. And he said, you're going to keep seeking. Not only are you going to keep seeking, you're going to have to keep turning. He says, and turn, that's imperfect also. And turn. I'm going to have to keep turning to God. I'm going to have to turn and turn and turn. You know why? Because I'm in a world that keeps pulling me away from Him. I'm in a world that's trying to draw me away from Christ. And I'm going to tell you why I have to keep turning back to Him, because the world is successful in pulling me away from Christ. That's what we got to know. When we fail, it's not the end of the story. It is not the epitaph that's going to be written. I have made mistakes. I make mistakes every day. I see it every day. Everybody. Matter of fact, Romans 3:23, for all have sinned, that's translated incorrectly. It is present tense, which means all are sinning right now. Sitting in this house, everybody in this house right now are sinning. Why are you sitting here? Why are you looking good? Why are we worshiping? We are sinning. He says, you're going to keep turning because somebody's going to keep pulling you. Something's going to keep pulling you. You're going to keep succumbing to it. I wish I had gotten to the place in my spiritual life when stuff approaches me, I'm able to walk away from it. But what I find I haven't, it was just an insatiable appetite for stuff that God said I can't have. You know, kind of like the sign that said, don't walk on the grass. I got a problem, y'all. If that sign said, don't walk on the grass, I'm going to walk a couple steps on the grass. I want to know, you can't run me. Walk on this grass I want to. It's just right. So I got a problem. So he knows something's going to keep pulling me. So he tells me when stuff pulls you, keep turning. And the idea is this, when I do you wrong, you may not accept me back. But I see it on a moment-by-moment basis with the Lord. And every moment, He wants me back.
That's right.
It blows my mind sometimes that I cannot outsee the grace of God. It seems like there ought to be a place in Him where I've sinned so much that He don't fool with me no more. That He won't bless my family no more. That He won't wake me up again because I've done so much stuff. But the truth is, the more, Paul says, the more sin abounds, grace does much more abound. I cannot out-sin the grace of God. So now move on to my very last one, my very last highlight. When I look at this text, not only did I see, the infrastructure of the narrative, but not only did I see the inconsistency, but I also saw the inoculation of God. And what do you mean? Because God says if they turn from their wicked ways, and he'll come down and he'll heal the land, you know, be therapeutic, heal the land. And I got to looking at it in the Hebrew text, and there was something that I noticed in the Hebrew text, that in this set of scriptures, there are 4 direct objects. And I thought, my God, there are 4 direct objects. And the first direct object is land. He says, I will heal their land. And it's the direct object, which means that's his goal in that sentence, the land. And I got to talking and thinking and mulling over it and examining it. And I thought, God, why would you say the goal is the land? Because listen, everywhere in Scripture that you look at the blessings of God, everywhere you look in the Scripture where it talks about the blessings of God, let me say it again so you get it. Everywhere you look in the Scripture where it talks about the blessings of God, it's tied to a land grant.
Amen.
God always connects his blessings to possession of land.
Amen.
I presented a paper at a meeting about the promises of God associated with land grants. If God has a promise for the land of Israel, the people of Israel, it's associated with the land. So his goal is the land. He has to get you on the right spot of land. Let me give you a very brief synopsis. I mean, like 15 to 20 seconds. There are some people who left Mount Zion, some people who stayed, some people who left St. John, some people who stayed, some people who left Liberty Hill, some people who stayed, some people who left St. Mark, some people who stayed, some people who left Shiloh, some people who stayed, some people who left First Baptist, some people who stayed, some people who left Calvary, some people who stayed. And let me tell you, everybody got to get on the right thing. I know we don't get this being preached really, but God's blessing for you is tied to you being on the right spot. So that's why if you're not called and anointed by God to be here in Mount Zion, you need to get to the place where God has called and anointed you to be, because your blessings is associated with the land.
Amen.
That's right.
Go where God has anointed you to go, so that the blessings of God can accompany you where you are. Everybody ain't anointed to be Mount Zion pastor. Thank God. Everybody's not anointed to be in Liberty Hill. Everybody's not anointed to be in St. Mark. Everybody's not anointed to be in St. John. We are anointed for a particular space. And when we in that space, God's blessings will flow. So God's goal is the land. He said, I will heal their land. The place that I've called them to. That's a direct object in this passage in 2 Chronicles 7. He talks about the temple. He says, I'm going to make this temple great because I've decided to put my name in there. And I got to looking at that thing about his name. Why would he say, yeah, I'm not going to make it great because I'm going to make great storehouses there. He said, I'm going to make it great because I'm going to put my name there. I'm going to put my name there. And so what happens when God puts his name there, if you look up at the Hebrew origin, the Semitic languages, when it talks about name, it's talking about a unique presence of that person. A unique part of that person's personality being associated and combined with that place. So God says, I'm going to put my name there at that temple. I'm going to put my name there at that palace. What he's saying is this. I'm going to share a piece of me with this place, so that when people come to this place, they're going to know that I've been there and I'll change lives from this place. I know we don't want to talk about the building so much, but let me digress just a little bit. There are some blessings that God has chosen to have uniquely at Mount Zion. I'm not dissing no other church, because God got something to do too at your place. But there are some places that God has anointed for his name to be declared in that place. Mount Zion is one of those places. That if God has called you to this land, if God has called you to 908 Cross Street, if God has called you to be a part of Mount Zion, not only he's going to bless you because you're a part of the land, he's going to bless you because he decided to put his name. John, what are you talking about? I'm telling you that Mount Zion's history talks about how great God has been here. When Dr. Guy was here, when Dr. Osmond was here, listen, God ain't finished. He never did say that he was going to take his name. He's doing some rearranging. He's doing some restructuring. The old thing ain't going to look like the new thing ain't going to look like the old thing. We're going to have a latter house glory. What do you want? Former glory or latter house glory? I want latter house glory. Habakkuk said that the latter house glory will be greater than the former house glory. God has something set aside for Mount Zion because he placed his name here. Placed his name here. And so the goal is the place. Then he says with a direct object that the goal is himself. Let me tell you something, Mount Zion. The goal is not the building right now. The goal is not the building. The goal is the God of the building. Don't you remember when Jacob was running from going to his uncle's house, Laban, and he got over there in Bethel, and he went to sleep, and all of a sudden a vision hit him, and he saw a ladder extending from heaven to earth, from earth to heaven, and angels ascending and descending. Do you remember that? He called that place, listen, he said, this is a place that I've been God, and he called it Bethel. Bethel meaning the house of God. He was so happy that he found a place where God showed up. And then when he got through spending 21 years with Laban, when he got finished going through all kind of trials, and he was on his way back to meet his estranged brother Esau, he stopped at Bethel because he wanted the same experience that he had 21 years earlier. But he wrestled with the God of Bethel. And he wrestled all night long until the angel of Jehovah messed up his hip bone and messed up the sinews in his hip. And he said, no longer will this place be called Bethel, but this place shall be called El Bethel. He said, I've grown in 21 years. Hello, Mount Zion. I've grown. No longer am I so concerned with the house of God. He said, I've learned something in 21 years in Laban's house, that it ain't about the house. It's about the God of the house.
Yes. I like that.
El Bethel. No longer call it Bethel, but El. I've grown. I've matured enough. It ain't about the programs. It ain't about how somebody dress or how somebody don't dress. It ain't about what this name of this church is. It ain't about the history of the church. I've grown enough to understand it's about El. It's about the God of Mount Zion. Then the very final thing is I take my seat. Talk about the great God being the land. Talk about the great God being the temple. Talk about the great God being himself. But what's alarming to me, he does not call people the great God. We are not his call. He is his own God. It's unique when you come to his house. It has nothing to do with you. If you don't believe it, Mount Zion, you remember how we talk about everybody who used to be a member here, but they don't know home. You know what I realized? Folk died. And guess what? Mount Zion is 140 years old. I need everybody that's 140 to stand up. The truth is, if you think you are Mount Zion, fool around and die and see no God. If I think that I'm Mount Zion, I'm 48 years old. If I think that I am Mount Zion, let me die. Y'all have somebody else in the sun. God's kingdom don't stop or ride on 1, 2, 3, 20, 30,000, 50,000. His kingdom will march on with you. Yes. If you don't believe me, die today and see. Won't Mount Zion meet next Sunday. Amen. Let's stand in the presence